we can bring back the singing, dancing, entertaining Brian Daigle.
How you doing, Brian?
Can you hear me now?
Perfectly.
He's echoing again.
No, it's not.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Don't listen to
Okay,
him.
so let's start with another song of Oh Happy Days. Oh Happy Days. Jesus goddamn Christ. So yeah, let's get going, lads, to this.
Yeah,
Where
Brian,
should we
look,
start?
Let me ask you something, right? Let me ask something. This isn't a question about the fan base, but I want you to try and explain to me what you think is going on, right? One good result and large sections of our club start to believe, yeah, top four, and then we get a bad result. And it's like, oh. Another good result, yeah, it's back on, oh. Yeah, oh. It's like up, down, up. Why do you think that's the case? Is it because all the other clubs around us are inconsistent? Is it because we just don't want to believe that actually Arsenal are good and they've had 3 years to rebuild and maybe they are just a top four side now? Or is it a case of we just don't want to say it as it is, and that is what my opinion is, and I know you might feel the same way, and Iggy, that our players just aren't good enough and we don't want to admit it. Why do you think there's an inconsistency in opinion amongst the Spurs fans?
Let's carry on with the song, shall we? Old McLeavy had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on that farm he had some sheep, E-I-E-I-O, with a bar here and a bar there, here a bar, there a bar, everywhere a bar. Old McLeavy had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. So yeah, I mean, what more can you say, mate? We win a game, and that 5-0 was a wonderful performance. But that's all it was. It could have been a springboard to start, but again, we choked. And it comes down to big time mentality. When it gets to this situation, do the players we have big game mentality and enough to get the job done? And quite simply, the answer is a resounding no. They just simply have not got it in them. And the two players that can, which is Son and Kane, as I've said for months and months and months, are overplayed and undervalued. And every time I say this, undervalued, I don't mean financially. I mean, if they're fit, they play. Yeah. They're undroppable. They can't be subbed because they have the capability to pull a rabbit out of the hat, to get something going, to do something. And obviously this game they didn't. They just play and play and play. There is no option to say, okay, have a rest or we'll try and change things up. I think Conte got his subs wrong. I wouldn't have taken Kulusevski off. We needed 3 points. I would have gone attacking. I would have gone brought more on and taken off midfielder or a defender like a Kulusevski or not Kulusevski, sorry, a Bentancur, and just gone for it. Left Højbjerg in midfield and just go for it. And yeah, it just got to that point where the players simply aren't good enough. They simply aren't good enough. And Ronaldo shows why at 37 years old, you can never ever doubt that man, no matter what form he's in, good form, bad form. And he turned up today as always. And another thing for Dr. Tottenham, just before that third goal, I don't know if your commentators said it back home, but over here they said that was Manchester United's 150th corner. They've scored 1 goal. Guess what happened on the next corner? Ronaldo header.
Always the way.
That's what happened. They had 150 corners this season, scored 1, and then this. What can you say? Listen, it's just gone to show again that, I mean, top 4 was done ages ago, and again, I keep saying this, that we just do not have the mentality. We do not have the mentality to play what Conte wants us to do. Yes, we can against an Everton. Yes, we can against a Leeds. But when the push comes to shove,
Brian,
and we really have to get the 3. Yeah, brother.
You know, when you talk about mentality, right? I was saying to Iggy after the match when we did the instant match reaction. For me, mentality isn't something you can coach just like that. Okay, and let me explain.
It's not. It's not.
Tell me what you think. Okay. Mentality comes from confidence. So if you've got the mentality of I can go out there and win, you need to have the confidence that you've got the ability, the decision making, and the skill set to go and win, right? And you've got players around you that can do that too. So in order to build that mentality in a player, you need to get to know the player, everything about them, to really understand the personality. Because when you understand the personality, you then know where the confidence is lacking, and then you focus on that with that player. So how I would give you confidence would be different to Iggy, because what you're lacking in confidence, Iggy might not be unconfident, and his lack of confidence might be where you're really confident. Like I was saying, you might be good at maths, you might be good at right. Okay, cut long story short. To build that takes a long, long time. Look at Arteta at Arsenal. I hate talking about them, but it's a good example because it's current. It's taken him 3 years to build the mentality that we can get top four. Conte's not here for 3 years. He's got an 18-month contract. So unless you build a project and you build the mentality, which Poch was in the process of doing and got close before he wasn't backed, for Conte to do it, he needs to be here for 3-4 years. But he's not a 3-4 year manager, Brian. He's not here to build the mentality of everyone. He's a manager that is,
he needs
get me the players that have got it now, and I'll bring it together. So when I hear a lot of fans talking about mentality, we're not going to develop it with Conte. We need to buy it in. What's your take on what I've just said?
No, still, you're bang on the money. You got to remember when I was a manager at comedy.com, when you give you feedback, or any person in their job, if they have people working underneath or for them or whatever, you try and find out which way they respond to with feedback, whether they like positive or they can take constructive criticism and then move on with it. And you have to find it with each player. But also, I always say that when you're buying a player, you're not just buying what he does on the pitch, you're buying his mentality, you're buying his footballing IQ. That's part and the parcel. And when we go to buy players, we buy players that are potentially going to do it in the future, will potentially become good players, will potentially have good mentality. When you have Poch builds a team, Jose buys a team, Conte buys a team. So when you hire these managers, you need to do it. It's like Alistair Gold said, with all these mixing and matching of managers. Like I said, we go from defensive to attacking to defensive. So you have surplus players that don't fit the next manager's regime. But when you hire after a Poch, that's an elite manager who has elite things around him to create on the pitch, and we don't. I can't say right. All the people that were there under Poch, and I don't mean just his coaching staff. I mean everyone around the club. They do something completely to what Jose did. So you can't upgrade them into that. You need to bring his entourage in, for want of a better word, start everyone singing from the same song sheet, and then you put that onto the pitch. Once again, we've brought in a manager who delivers quality immediately with backing. And when I say backing, I don't mean with hundreds of millions. Conte doesn't do that. Mourinho does. But Conte doesn't get this kind of stuff around him. When the manager appointed him, they go, right, we're stepping up a gear. We need everything in the club to step up a gear, not try and bring these people a gear up. They go, right, we need to evolve. We need to match this guy. And we just don't do it. We simply do not do it. Off the field and on the field.
Do you know, Alistair Gold also said when he was talking about chopping and changing managers, chopping and changing systems, players not suiting the next manager, he also said that this starts at the top. Is the mentality issue one that we can buy in and fix, or does the mentality issue have to change at the absolute top of this club for the mentality to be right for the team? Or can they both be inclusive of one another? Exclusive,
no,
sorry.
We need to buy it. We need to buy out the mentality and bring in a new one, because it doesn't matter if he goes and does something this season, then he needs to repeat that over and over and over and over again. And when he's done it, like when we bought Ndombele and smashed our record, we thought, oh, do you know what? Here we go. Then what happened? Nothing. We brought Jose in, and whether you like the window we had last season in the summer or not, we brought players in. Did we follow it up? No, we didn't. This mentality, there is a fundamental breakdown of all within this club. I don't know if the left arm knows what the right arm's doing. And it stems from one man and one man only. And this ain't going to change. This ain't going to change. Like I said, when I stopped drinking, it took my parents 2.5 years to believe that I stopped drinking. And that's how long it took. This is going to take longer than 2.5 years to believe this man has changed. And you look where we are now, and we want to try and get Champions League, but without getting into the Champions League, without buying Champions League players or caliber that can get you there, we can't get there. And then people say, well, we're not there, we can't buy these players. It's you know, like when you go for a job and you leave uni, they go, well, where's your qualifications? So you don't get it. But then you go to uni, you get the qualifications, and they say, where's your experience? That's where we are.
Still, where do you?
That's where we are,
Brian. Sorry, where do you see us finishing this season?
Don't even ask me that top four question, because I might break a rib with laughter. Oh, mate, I think sixth. But I think it's going to be a last game of the season. I think, but I have a hideous thought that we'll be in sixth.
Listen,
and on the last day, it will drop to seventh.
I understand that we got quality and we need to improve, and still saying we need probably as far as 12 players, which is a lot.
If we want to mount a league challenge,
we need to definitely start this summer to bring some of those players and recognising the position that we need to cover. For me, you know, Michael said it earlier. Aravind said it earlier. The one word, and I said it as well during the game. The one word, especially in the second half, that we came short of character. That word, character.
But that's mentality.
Character.
Yeah.
So it's identifying that before even we go into the qualities, that mindset to actually go over there and actually believe that we can do it. But you know what? It comes to time that we need the quality. We'll have to see through. We are a team that will play well against the mid-table down, but against mid-table up, or even the teams around us.
I said this in December.
Southampton, Wolves.
In December, I said this.
Southampton, Wolves, West Ham we got next week, Arsenal we got coming. That we just can't seem to overcome that hurdle.
Do you know what, Iggy? I'm going to read something from my dad's best mate sent me, who is die hard Tottenham, used to follow him everywhere they went. Now, some of these players people may not agree with, but this is the kind of situation we're in, and let's see what you guys think. So, Galini, and this was sent about a week or two ago. So, Galini, Doherty, Royale, Pierre, Stephen Bergwijn, Lucas, Sanchez, Rodon all need replacing. So that is 9 replacement signings needed before we even begin to strengthen the team. We are also probably 4 or 5 players short in numbers in the squad. How can we expect to sign 14 players needed to rebuild? We tend to only sign average players on the last day of the window, so Conte will not have a squad for a proper pre-season training. It's a disaster waiting to happen.
Maths don't lie.
If I speak, and that's what I'm going to say, if I speak now. I'll leave it at that, if I speak.
Move on to the next callers.
Yeah, but this is the thing. This is what we've got to realise. This is the kind of hole that we're in. We've got to get surplus players out that we deem not good enough. We have to replace them. Plus, we're short on quality already. So whether everyone agrees with those players named,
make sure you renew.
Kind of where we're at.
Make sure you renew your season ticket by the end of April.
Yeah. That's the thing. You've got to make sure that he gets the money in so he can spend it on that. I don't know where the NFL money's all of a sudden gone, or the boxing money, or the shirt sleeve sponsor money, or the training ground money, or do you know what? Let's get those naming rights. Nike or Amazon were really interested a week or two ago.
How long is that naming rights?
And then all of a sudden, it's gone dead.
How long has this naming rights thing been going on for? Didn't we appoint someone from America who's a specialist in this, and his job is to get the naming rights deal?
Yep, signed 18 months ago. If that is not the most custiest job ever, Levy just goes, sit here, try and get me naming rights. I need the top deal. Real Madrid have got naming rights for their new stadium. It's not even built.
I think Real Madrid.
It's not even built.
I'm not. I'm playing.
Listen, Real Madrid.
come on.
Real Madrid are a different level,
to
but if you look at this,
they're also funded by the Bank of Spain as well.
I have to
They're funded by
interject,
the
man.
Bank of
It's
Spain.
not
Yeah, okay.
Real Madrid.
That's just an example, but let's have a look.
No.
King
Brian. No. In all fairness, we've got a shirt sponsor, we've got a sleeve sponsor, we've got a training kit sponsor, we've got 10 associated partners: Hugo, Boss, Dulux Paint, all these other companies, right? If we really want to get a deal, I'm sure we could have got something sewn up. Maybe we're just playing too much hardball for money that realistically we're not entitled to getting.
We're not going to get.
Daniel Levy playing hardball still. What are you talking about? Such nonsense. Such nonsense, mate. I don't know where you get this stuff. Of course it's only goddamn.
Listen,
of course it's only him. Listen to how many prospective people have come in and then they leak it to wherever they want to go. You get all this hype. And then where is it? You look, Arsenal, Emirates, all happened. Leicester, King Power. Bolton, Reebok, Riverside, and all these things are done with them moving in.
Yeah.
With all them moving in. Now, a lot of them have been their sponsor. But apparently Nike have been sniffing around the entire time. But no, we can't have Nike. It's literally, I don't know. This is the biggest myth with these naming rights. I swear to God, they should actually call that stadium the Bill Nicholson Stadium. Because we've taken Bill Nicholson way away. If there's anything that deserves that stadium to be called rather than the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, call it the Bill Nicholson Stadium. Give the man some respect. Sir created a lot of our history, but no, we can't do that. We have to fast out. But it's all right. We've got an official paint. Don't remember that. Don't forget that, guys. All go get your Dulux because it's the official paint.
Can't we speak to Sky TV and get the Comedy Channel to give us the naming rights?
Oh, mate, it's goddamn ridiculous. There's always an excuse for why this doesn't happen, and it's always. I don't know. This guy is Teflon. This guy is absolute Teflon. Nothing sticks to this man.
I tell you what, this summer we'll see. I think once and for all, what's what with a lot of things. A lot. The managers, the fan base, the owners,
get a lot of answers,
players,
one way or the
Kane,
other,
Son.
for sure.
I think this summer's going to be very. Brian, buddy. We've got loads of callers still waiting, and we've got to get through them. And Ben and Sim have made it very clear to me that I go on for too long. So you have the final word, my man. You have the final word.
Take it away.
I will do. Great show, guys. And as always, Levy out.
Take care, Brian.
All right, that was Brian Daigle, guys.